Hi students, in this video we are going to see about the research report design and writing and ethics in business research. First we'll see the meaning of research report. It is manually written document regarding the findings of any kind of research. So it is the end and the final product or output of a systematic investigation. It is prepared to submit the authentic body or funding agency. So a report is a clear and concise document and presentation of envisaged facts. So coming to the definitions of research report, is a research document that contains basic aspects of research project. So what are the effective report essentials? Effective report deserves uniformity, consistency and regularity. So all three things are very important for a research report. So a research report involves the relevant information on research work which is carried out, and it may be in either form of handwritten, typed or computerized. So it is the end product of research activity, and it is a technical activity that demands all the skills and patience of the researcher. So a researcher has to go for a research for about more than 2 years. So it involves all the skills and the patience levels of the researcher. So a research report is a methodical, well-planned document which outlines and evaluates a subject or problem, and which may include the following things: the record of an order of events, explanation of the implication of these events or facts, then evaluation of the facts or results of research presented, discussion of the consequences of conclusion or course of action, conclusions and references of the research. So this is the report preparation and presentation process. It is classified as three: pre-report writing activities, report writing and post-report. So problem definition, research design and methodology is the first initial stage where it starts and move on to the data analysis. So the data has been analyzed here, and interpretations of research findings are being found here, and move to the report preparation. They prepare a report with all the essentials to be added, and ethics followed, and oral presentation is being done, and it is being reported to the client. So reading of the report by the client, and again it moves to the research follow-up. So evaluating the research is a crucial part, where follow-up of research is the another step. So again it moves to the problem definition. So again it goes like a cycle, and report preparation and presentation process, where these two, problem definition, research design, methodology and data analysis, are pre-reporting. Interpretation, report preparation, oral preparations are report writing activities, and research follow-up and reading of a report by the client is the post-reporting activities. This is the outlay of a marketing research which I chosen. And moving on to the elements of the research report. So these are the various elements of research report. So initially the title page. Title page involves the title of the research report. And then letter of transmittal, it's nothing but passing a brief report or summary of from one person to another person. And then table of contents. So table of contents involves the index page, so where descriptions is there, headings are there, and along with the page numbers. Then list of tables. So what are all the tables which is being prepared and posted in the research report? It has to be named, so with along with the page numbers, as like graph. List of graphs involved, and list of appendices is nothing but the additional thing. So list of appendices will be at the last, but still here the list of appendices may be like A, B, C, D. So all the list names of the list can be given here. And list of exhibits, if any exhibits has been done, it also has to be mentioned here. So moving on to the executive summary, it involves three things: major findings of the study, conclusion of the study, and recommendation of the researcher. So all these three have to be in the executive summary of the report. Then introduction. So introduction involves background of the problem and statement of the problem. So what is the exact background issue of the problem, and what is the statement of the problem which is being presented by the researcher. Then approaches to the problem. So what are the various approaches which have been dealt by the previous researchers, and it has to be mentioned here. Then research design. So it is a very important thing, where all the research methodological design and sampling scaling techniques will prevail here. As a first one, type of research design, which type of research design is being adopted, and information needs which is being mentioned there. Then data collection from the primary sources as well as the secondary sources. Then scaling techniques, which is dealt in the previous video itself. So about what is scaling and what is scaling techniques. The next, moving on to the questionnaire development and pre-testing. So developing a questionnaire is a crucial part, where it should not be repeated once. So I have already posted a video on how to develop a questionnaire and all. And then pre-testing, pilot survey, like whether these questionnaires are being presented for a pre-testing of a minimal of 50 or 30 respondents where any errors are being detected. Then sampling techniques, what is the sample size and what is the sampling techniques adopted by the researcher. Then field work, if field work is being done, it has to be mentioned. Then data analysis, very important thing, where here with the data analysis only you are going to write the interpretation. So it is of two, methodology and plan of data analysis. Methodology, what type of research you are chosen and how it is being done, what are all the various tools and things which is associated with the study. Then results, findings of the study. Limitations and caveats is nothing but the what are all the various limitations which a researcher faces while doing this research. So it can be due to time constraint, it can be limited to this number, or it is being biased. So all these limitations can be given there. At last, very important thing is the conclusion and recommendation. What is the exact conclusion of that particular research report? So concluding in a short summary where it has to clearly mention what the research is being done for all the, for example, if it is done for a 4 or 5 year period, so it has to be clearly mentioned. And then recommendations, if there is any suggestions given, it has to be given. And then last is the appendix, where the additional including of the notes and everything. So like questionnaires and forms which is being attached. Then statistical output which is being taken from any of the survey or any other sources. And then list of the items. We'll see the types of report. It is formal, informal, statutory, non-statutory, routine, special, informative and interpretative. So we'll see much in detail in the next slide. So formal and informal, on the basis of the legal formalities, it is being differed. So a formal report is one which is prepared on the prescribed form. So and it is presented according to the established procedure to the prescribed authority. Whichever guidelines or rules and regulations abide to that, it is being prepared. So it is known as a formal report. An informal report is usually in the form of person-to-person communication, like a word of mouth like. So it may range from a short or almost fragmentary statement of facts on a single page to a more developed presentation taking several pages. So it is not a formal one where it is just like they are recording the informations. Then statutory, non-statutory reports are on the basis of formal organization. So statutory reports are report prepared and presented according to the form and procedure laid down by the law. So if it is abide by the law and it is prepared, it is known as a statutory report. A best example is audit report. And non-statutory reports are formal reports which are not required under the law. So it is which are prepared to help the management in framing just the policies is called a non-statutory report. So for the framing of policies, the management makes this non-statutory report. Example is the for policy formulation. Next is the routine and special reports, where on the basis of frequency it differs. So first one is a periodic or routine reports. Both are the same. So these are prepared on a regular prescribed interval. So it can either be submitted annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, fortnightly, weekly or even daily basis. So these are the routine reports which is being taken. So best example is the department is being asked to submit a report to the management or education institution of the day-to-day activities of the students, and so like that. Then special reports, they are related to single occasion or situation. So best examples are technical report for a particular product. So that is a special report. For a special occurrence, they are preparing this kind of reports. So it can be of, if they go for a NAAC auditor, they are preparing a special report for NAAC accreditations. Then informative and interpretative reports is on the basis of function. So informative reports are presented on the facts about certain given activity in detail without any note or suggestion. So best example I have given here is a vice chancellor asking about the number of candidates appearing at a particular examination. So he is asking that. Then next one is the interpretative reports. It analyzes the facts, draws conclusions and makes the recommendations. So it is based upon the facts and conclusions and recommendations. So example is the company chairman may ask for a report on falling trends in the sale in a particular area. So he has to know about the particular company chairman is naturally interested to know the details about and opinions of the falling trends in sales. So it is being used for the investigation purpose. And I'll show you the title of the project. This is a sample of the so this is a format of report which is being submitted by a student. So it involves the title of the report here, the company which he did, and then the name of the student and the registration number. So this project submitted, so for whom it is being submitted, to the university. So it is just a sample. So we'll see the ethics in research. So ethics is nothing but the moral principles of right and wrong. So it is not absolute but may vary from a person to person by time or by place, and may be in the competition with each other. So we'll see the research ethics. So incorporating ethical principles into research practice is known as a research ethics. So it involves a balance between the principles and practices of the for research, and all stages are involved from inception of research through to completion and publication of results and beyond that. So till that, from the initial stage of collecting the data until the publication of results, so the research ethics has to be followed strictly. Ethical principles, so these are the principles like 14 principles of management. So it is like you have to follow these principles. I'll just read it out. Honesty, objectivity, integrity, carefulness, openness, respect for intellectual property, confidentiality, responsible publication, responsible mentoring, respect for colleagues, social responsibility, non-discrimination, competency, legality, stigmatization, animal care, and human subject protection. It has been in the sectoral wise, so the broad division is preliminary material, and it involves individual sections like title of report, table of content, and abstract synopsis. And the body of report is very important, so it involves introduction, literature review, methodology, results, discussion, conclusion, and recommendations. And the last one, supplementary material, is individual sections like references, bibliography, and appendixes. So this is the title page. So it involves the title bearing the dissertation, which I showed there. The declaring page, this is the declaration page where it is entitled to that. So I have to mention the name of the researcher, the title, and to whom it is being submitted. A very important question, mechanics of writing a report. So first one is the size and physical design. It can be of standard size and ruled paper. So with the left hand and right handwritten, then using the black and blue ink, and left side, right side margins, half inches, 1.5 inches for the left side, header footer, so 1 inches from the slide space between the left. So layout is of the research, various types of research which is being prescribed earlier. So the research has to be according to the ethics and the rules and regulations framed by the research. Third one is a treatment of quotations. So definition or quotation should be placed in the quotation mark and double space forming an immediate part of the text. Fourth one is the footnotes. So these footnotes serves two purposes. First one, page number, and the cross references, second one. So the page numbers of the report, if single side, the page number should be written in the center or the right side of the bottom of the page, and cross references like asterisks, signs may be used to prevent the confusions. So and supplement note related to the particular word should be mentioned below of the page, below that of the page. Documenting style, regarding the documentation, given work should have essential facts about the editions used. The common order may be described as, regarding the reference, it has to be in this chronological order, like author name in normal order, then title of work underlined to indicate italics, place and date of publications, and the page number. So this is how it is an example of the author name and the publications. Any abbreviations given, it has to be in this order. And use of statistic charts and graphs, so usually presented in forms of tables, bar charts, and line graphs and pictograms. So such presentation should be a self-explanatory and complete with it itself. The final draft, finally you are preparing the draft of the study, and revising and rewriting. So it is very important term, revising and rewriting the rough draft of the report should be done with much more care, great effort. For the purpose, the researcher should put himself questions like, sentence are reported in a clear order, grammatical correct, and what is meant. Do they say what is meant, and what are the various points incorporated in report fit logically, and other questions for drafting. The next one is a bibliography. It's a list of writings with the time and place of publications, and preparation of index. So at the end of the report, an index has to be prepared. So it acts as a good guide to the reader. So index may be prepared of three types: author index, subject index, and content index. So this is how a bibliography will look alike in the report. So an effective report can be written during the following steps. So determining the objective of the report, that is identifying the problem, then collecting the required materials, facts of the report, then study and examine the facts which is gathered by the investigator, and plan the facts for the report. And the next one, prepare an outline for the report, that is the draft of the report. Then edit the drafted report and distribute the drafted report to the advisory team and ask for